Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to create your very own in-demand virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 4, Should You Start a VA Business During a Pandemic?
Hell yeah, you should.
Yeah, Sam and I both agree that this is a great time to start a virtual assistant business. And there's two reasons. One is that people who had the excuse or, they didn't see how someone could work remotely for them. And they thought that, you have to have, if you're going to have an assistant, they're going to be in your office and there was no other way. Well, that's actually been thrown out the window now because it is proven that lots of people are more than capable of working remotely, and there's ways to track time and, work out what people are doing. And, because I think there's that fear around that. How am I going to know that they're working? But yeah, all of that is out the window now with technology and, Office 365, it's all online. G Suite, it's all online. Like there's just that excuse is gone now, hasn't it?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we used to see it and hear it and being confronted with it all the time, that view from people. If you would suggest hiring a virtual assistant, they would automatically will say, oh, no, I think I'd work better with somebody in my office. I really need that in person. I can't see how it would work. The communication's just going to be too hard. Well, if COVID and the pandemic that we're going through right now has shown us anything, it's, as you said, it's totally doable. It's really easy. Once you've got everything set up, your systems in place, your processes in place, and you work hard at that communication, because that is key, isn't it? Communication is key. It is, not only is it doable, it's really easy. And it's affordable.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, with that excuse gone, there's more people now who are looking for a virtual assistant and can see how it can work. And the other reason is that there's definitely business owners who are now wary of hiring employees because of the rules and obligations that you have around employees. Now they're wary of that, so they're looking at what the other options are. And the other option is to hire contractors, essentially, which is sort of what a virtual assistant is, but they're more a business owner providing services to a client. So yeah, they are now looking for those ways to hire and get resources and have support in their business. So yeah, for those who are thinking about becoming a virtual assistant and, now like, oh, is it really a good time? Because, there's lots of businesses going out of business. But yes, there's actually a lot of businesses who are starting up, people now looking at their entrepreneurial options. And there are lots of businesses who are thriving in this industry in these times, and lots of people needing to get online. So there's lots of people looking for support. So it's an absolutely really good time to start a virtual assistant business. Because are you seeing lots more leads coming in, Sam?
Oh, loads. And, they are mainly around the small to medium-sized businesses that have had to pivot really fast. The word of the last 2 months is pivot. It's been been shoved down our throats, isn't it? I think everyone's a bit sick of it, but it's true. Hundreds of thousands of businesses have had to pivot. And for a lot, that's meant having an online presence where they haven't needed to, being on social media, which is really scary for a lot of people that haven't been there before. So it's those types of things that they're really looking for. And, lots of people had to lay off staff. Loads of people were made redundant. So we've got a lot of people that, as you said, they're a bit nervous. They're now in a little bit of a growth stage. Here in New Zealand, we're really lucky. Everything's opening up again. Yep. So a lot of these businesses that were put on hold for a couple of months, they're now coming out of that and they're seeing a bit of light. And despite having to have made people redundant earlier on, they've now got this opportunity to grow. But now they don't have the staff, but they're feeling really nervous about bringing on full-time employees again, because we just don't know what's going to happen. We are still in uncertain times. So that's where a virtual assistant, a contractor, a freelancer, whatever you want to call them, is such, scalable, and we're flexible, aren't we? The two words, scalable and flexible. And that is what business owners are looking for right now. It's a safe way. It's a safe way to stick their toes back in the water and start swimming again.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've touched on a few like key words and benefits that as a new virtual assistant, then going out to talk to people, that's what you can be talking about is, it is a great option because it is scalable and flexible. So yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It's a great time to start a virtual assistant business. And in my agency, we're seeing 3, 4, 5 leads coming in each day. My business development manager who manages all of our inquiries and sales, she actually said this morning on the team meeting, I don't think I've ever seen our list of leads, she manages them in Airtable. She's never seen the list of leads so long in there before. So yeah, if that goes to show just how keen people are to actually hire a virtual assistant, it's a great time.
That's fantastic. And we're also seeing a lot of people, especially those that were made redundant, now thinking, oh, well, this virtual assistant gig, I think this might be for me, aren't we? We're seeing loads more interest. And then there's concerns around that. Then we've got other people saying, wow, with all these hundreds of people now looking to become virtual assistants, is there going to be enough work for me?
Yeah. So my answer to that is there are thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses out there, and just in New Zealand, but in the world there's millions of businesses, and each of those businesses could potentially hire a virtual assistant to perform some sort of task. And so if you keep that in mind, then there's absolutely enough work to go around. And especially if you specializing in something means that the number of people that you can potentially do that work for is across all sorts of industries and all sorts of businesses. Absolutely. There's enough work to go around, and I think it's a great time. And what else happens when lots of people come into an industry is they're all spreading the word about virtual assistants. So even more people hear about this word virtual assistant, and then are looking into it and figuring out if it's right for them. And it just helps.
It does. The word is spreading, which is wonderful. And also, I think if we look at some of the big companies at the moment, I watched an interview with Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, and he was saying that he sees Facebook in 5 years' time. Well, within 5 years, at least 50% of his staff will be working remotely. That's just the way the world is going right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone's realized, actually, it's easy to work from home. Most people can set up a desk and a screen and work from home. And with the internet and how available it is for everyone across the world now, it makes it achievable for anyone in any country to have the opportunity to be able to do that if they have the resources to get started.
And when you're working remotely, I mean, there's no such thing as closed borders, is there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can't fly there, but we can certainly do work. Absolutely. All right. So if you are thinking about becoming a virtual assistant, now is absolutely a great time to get started. Thanks to everyone for listening to this episode of the Sam and Joe VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the Savvy School website to check out the amazing members club and find more free resources.
You can find us at savvyschool.co.nz.